What is going on YouTube? My name is Bancroft. Thank you for tuning in. And today we got another matchup. It's actually Vegito taking on Paragus. And like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But let's get into today's matchup. So this is the same Paragus I had earlier this week. Like I said, it was on 2 matches. This one might be a little bit better when it comes to just really showing what the deck can do. Yeah, so let's go over the leaders. So we have Vegito. We haven't seen this one in a bit. This one in, I think, Nick's favorite builds because he's had this one built for a very long time. But auto, you draw a card when it attacks. But also auto, if it's your opponent's turn, when one of your blue unisons would be placed in your drop area, or one of your blue battle cards is removed from the battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, you may flip this leader over. If you do, draw 2 cards. So the idea back in the day was kind of put a blocker on board and then just immediately block with it, and then cool, you awaken. It's a little bit different now because Nick does play it with the unison more often now, which makes it kind of your opponent has to go after the Saiyans that are on your board because the particular unison has the auto where if you have a, it's right there on the board, he plays which allows him to kind of get a search off. So when his cards play, you look top 5 cards of your deck, add to 1 blue Saiyan with an energy cost 4 or less, or a blue unison with a specific cost of 2, add it to your hand. So this unison is the kind of like what makes this deck so good. It has a permanent where if you have a Saiyan, I think a blue Saiyan in your battle area, let's pull it up real quick just to make sure I get this right. Permanent, if your leader card is a blue Saiyan card and you have a blue Saiyan battle card in play in rest mode, your leader cards don't take damage from attacks. So you have to attack into the battle card just to get damage out. And there's so many newer choices that make this deck so much better than what it used to be when it first came out. So here I play Paragus Deadly Premonition, and I kind of just showed Nick like, hey, look at this. I pulled the 2 promos, which are in my hand because, you know, new mulligan, you can't just filter what you want. You just have to stick with what you got. So I use this search of this card to pull a 6-drop Broly to my hand. The deck has 2 different chains. You can either play the promo from last set, which will allow you to play the Frieza, which allows you to pop the Paragus, which allows you to activate the extra card Tragic Awakening from your drop. Then you can play the 6-drop, and then from that point on, you're kind of in a good footing. You have like 2 double strikes on the board, or you can just do the standard chain. And this is a deck that came out back in set 6. And I will say, when I went over this one, I was not aware of this leader because everyone just played the Broly leader instead, which kind of felt like it was a better engine because Broly leader guaranteed KOing a card. Or this one, you have to play other things to kind of get that engine out. And a mix between the Z deck and other cards to make that a lot easier than what it used to be. So right now, we're both at 7 damage. So we both took 1 damage each, 7 life. And now we're on Nick's turn, which he now has established this unison. This plus or minus activate main that he's doing right now, you choose one of your leader cards or battle cards, switch to rest mode, and then you can add a marker to this card, which kind of gives it like that beefy presence, because the -2 is draw 1 card and choose one of your opponent's battle cards energy cost greater than the current energy ignoring barrier and place at the bottom of the owner's deck. So like there's no other way of gaining markers except for just switching cards to rest mode, which, like I said earlier, the promo, when you have a Saiyan card in rest mode, you're good. So Nick did attack. I take the damage, go down to 6. He ended up just passing turn here. Pretty much, like I said, my goal is to leave this card on board because Mai is not a Saiyan. So this permanent doesn't mean shit right now, pretty much. So here, there's a couple options we could go for. And I actually decided to go into the 1-drop Broly. So one thing about Paragus is that he has an activate main on the front side where if you proc it, you don't actually take damage from your card's effects. But I didn't proc because I wanted to go down to 4 life because the 1-drop Broly, on play, if your leader is a Frieza army card, you choose 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. So I'm a little more protected now. Sorry, I'm not protected, but I'm able to awaken here, and now I'm able to establish the unison I play in my Z deck, which is Bardock, which goes hand in hand with this deck actually so much easier than I thought it would. I really just put this in here because the draw, like, it gives an extra draw. Who cares about the blocker? And then I realized the autos on these cards say skill or if they're KO'd. So Bardock activate main, draw 1 card, then choose one of your Earthling, Saiyans, or Mechan cards and gains blocker until your opponent's turn. And the 1-drop Broly, one of his cards removed from your battle area by a skill or KO'd, your leader's Frieza army, whatever, You get to take life, 1 or 2 cards, and then you can play a 4-drop from your hand. And yeah, like and the 4-drop has the same effect, and the 6-drop has the same effect. Like, you just get these cards blockers, and if your opponent attacks with a card strong enough, let them deal with it, you know? If they kill it, cool, bring the next chain out. So once I kind of realized, I was like, oh, this works so much better than I thought it was going to. So here I think we get him down to 5 life, and I think we end up passing here. Yeah, I'm just going over like what the checks are here. Like, hey, this does have this until X turn and yada yada. And on the front side, for Paragus, it has a permanent that you just can't add cards from your life to your hand. Oh, during your turn. Interesting. There's going to be a misplay in a second. That's my fault. I'll explain why and what happens in a second if you haven't already guessed. So here we get Pan on the board, which is a blue Saiyan, using the Unisons to kind of switch it to rest mode. It works out great. We get the leader swing here, and I will go ahead and activate dormant potential from my hand. I don't know if it does much in this particular matchup, but it allows me to at least clean up Mai, so we can't use Mai as a combo piece, which actually benefited me a lot because he actually just ended up just letting that attack fizzle. Paying 1 for the Goku. It's a great blocker. So once I take care of Pan, all he has to do is block with this Goku. He does get a draw from that on play. I don't know if he actually took that draw or not. But here he swings with the Unison. I do block this attack. I do not combo out. So technically, this is where the misplay would be. When this card is removed from the battle area by a skill or KO, if your leader is green Frieza card, choose 1 or 2 cards from your life out of your hand. So I should at least took 1 card right then and there. But I do play the 4-drop here. And the 4-drop is just a nice little 15k. But from here on out, these cards have activate battle skills where I could pitch a card from my hand to KO an X card. In this case, it's 3 or less. For the 6-drop, it becomes any card. And then for the 8-drop, it's any card ignoring barrier, which is pretty cool. So here we got Nick pretty much tapping out. Not tapping out, sorry. He leaves 1 energy, but he passes with a Saiyan in rest mode and then another Saiyan as a blocker, which kind of works out in my favor. I can kind of move around this by making an attack and then activating battle on the 4-drop. We'll see what happens. So Paragus attacking into Pan, which is like 15k to 4k. So like if he wants to keep Pan alive, he's gonna have to combo out. He didn't call negates, so here I'm able to use Broly's activate main ability to pitch a card, and then we will KO the Goku because Goku only has deflect, so it's going to go away. But he does get his leader's auto, which allows him to kind of quote unquote awaken. And then Pan is gone. Yeah. So here we're going to swing a Broly. And he will use the energy to play Saiyan Synergy, which is just really good because of 2 reasons. Reason 1, he can turn around and if I attack the leader, he can say, cool, I'm not going to use the auto. And if I don't attack the leader, I'm going to have to attack. I have to at least attack regardless one way or another, either into it or to the leader. And depending on how I do this order, because in a second, I should be playing a card, I think. Let's see what happens. I am playing this video at normal speed just because it was a very quick match. So here we're giving the auto to the 1-drop. Give it the blocker for the turn. Getting a draw off it that way. Here I swing with Bardock into Saiyan Synergies. And I think I end up not comboing. Yeah, leave it at 15 because it's also a 4K. So it's one of those things where if he wants to keep it alive, he's going to have to get rid of some of his hand at least. And he ends up going for the combo. So we got 1 here putting in 9K, following up with a Sensu Bean, which boosts up to 14K. And he just needs 1 more combo piece to keep it alive, which is fine. Like him burning 3 cards for this keeping it alive works great for me. And here he pays the effect to bottom deck Broly, which Broly's effect will go off as well. which in this case, when this card is removed from the battle area by a skill or KO'd, if your leader is freeze armor, you may choose 2 cards in your hand, place in your drop. If you do, choose the 1 Broly 6 costs and play it, which is what I do. So here I'm just kind of reading it over and whatnot, but we will discard cards in a second. And this Broly has double strike, so it's a 25k double strike. It becomes more of a threat than what any of the other cards are. And he still has 1 open energy. I have a feeling he's going to negate. So I swing with the 1-drop first towards leader. I specify towards leader to see how he acted. He said no negates, no autos. And I will proceed to turn around and use the Broly's effect, activate battle, to just get rid of Saiyan synergies. And then I don't combo anymore. I'm not gonna. The deck kind of wants to burn cards from your hand just to get like activate battles to play the chain. You have to pitch 2 or 1 card to do stuff in this deck. Like the hand size is never the greatest thing. It's just quick aggro and hope that that's enough. So now I swing with the 25k double strike. And I'm really, because, you know, like I said, I didn't attack him earlier because I expected to negate, or at least to waste attacks into his other card. But now he's kind of forced to negate or just take it. And I leave it double strike 25. And he does take it going down to 3 life, which is great. So here we're going to pay 1 for a Z battle card. And this is actually one of the things I mentioned earlier. Like, future cards have made things so much easier for this. So we will be playing, if correct, SS3 Broly Tyrant. Yeah. Which has a permanent, when this card would be played from your Z deck, instead of paying the card's energy costs and Z costs, you may place 1 non-unique green card from your battle area to the drop, pay 1 green, and use 1 Z energy. So it costs 1 energy, 1 Z energy, and it pretty much removes the 6-drop with a skill. So now I'm able to turn around and play the 8-drop. Yes, I had to discard 2 more cards for it, but now I have another 35k double strike on board. Unfortunately, SS3 doesn't get double strike because I don't technically have the 4 energy for it. So here I swing with it. He does negate. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm debating in this moment of using the activate main on SS3, where if you have 3 more energy and you place 1 non-unique card from your battle area to your drop, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And he didn't have enough cards in his Z energy for 17th auto. And so I end up just going, you know what? Let's go for the moon. You know, I see the whole chain. I want to make this happen on camera. I played the secret rare, which we popped the 8-drop, turn around, play the secret rare, and it just felt really good. So you have to pitch your whole hand for this, and I do not get the secondary auto because I don't have 1 life. But man, if I did, it would have been really great in this moment. But this is a 40k double strike dual attack. So he does take the first 2 damage. I have no hand, so like I'm forced to kind of just make him combo out. And he had 1 super combo. I think he had a 2nd super combo as well. No, he did not. Okay. But at the same time, like, all those resources, yeah, there it is. Okay. All these resources he had, I'm just hoping, like, I'm just bringing his hand down enough so that during my turn, or during his turn, I could survive and then go back into my turn. Which, unfortunately, did come out. So I swing with the 20k. Which he used like 1 super combo or 2 cards to get out of the attack, and boom, there's the 2 cards there. But he's down to like, I think like 4 cards in hand. Not a lot. But I ended up passing here. Frieza was the last card in my hand. And if I would have seen more cards, being able to possibly just play more Z cards would have been great in this situation. But like I said, I saw the whole chance, saw the opportunity to go for it. I went for it. Unfortunately, did not get it in that turn. It is next turn. He does have 4 blue energy. He has his leader. But and keep in mind, I should be at 3 life right now, which doesn't change the results overall. I take this damage here, go down to 3. He pays 4 for the SSB Vegito 8-drop from expansion 23. It's triple strike. I have no cards in my hand. That's game. So like, it didn't matter. Like, he didn't draw that off the leader. He had that already. So that attack alone would have finished me off regardless. So yeah, that's today's matchup. Hope you all enjoy. And Paragus' profile breakdown will be coming out tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.